Well, fine. Good morning, everyone. In fact, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. Now, although today is Thanksgiving, by the time you watch this, it'll be well after that. Hope it was well. I hope it was good. So, we're looking at the Lake Champlain over there, and I'm in South Hero, Vermont today. I want to show you what a place looks like that I'm here to show you. I'm going to show you a photograph of it first before I show you the building. So just a moment as I get that ready. Alright, so this is an aerial view of the Sandbar Inn. And although this is a vintage view of it, I'm going to show you what it looks like now. You ready? Yeah, definitely derelict, and all that good stuff, all that bad stuff. So I'm going to read you an article from 7 Days VT, which is a local newspaper that you can read online as well. This article was written by Ken Picard on July 31, 2019. I'll include this on my website, travelingforhistory.com, but you have to click through the link to see the photograph. And then once I finish reading this, I'm going to do a walk around for you. Conventional wisdom, quote, conventional wisdom holds that the first three rules for choosing commercial real estate are location, location, and location. If that's the case, what's the deal with the old Sandbar Inn, a long vacant motel on the west side of the Sandbar Causeway in South Hero? If ever a spot were prime for commercial ka-ching, this highly visible 3.7-acre waterfront lot on Route 2 would seem to check all the boxes. It offers spectacular panoramic views of Lake Champlain and the Green Mountains, its own beach access in Outer Malice Bay, boat slips directly across the road, and Sandbar State Park about a mile away. It's close to two large population centers, Chittenden County and Montreal, accessible via Interstate 89, and situated in a year-round vacationer's paradise, not yet saturated with lodgings and eateries. Developers would also be pleased to know that the site has all the necessary permits in place, no costly or time-consuming environmental review required, a rarity for lakefront development, and, according to its owners, it wouldn't need to be rezoned to accommodate a new motel, restaurant, or residential community. Inexplicably, the Sandbar Inn's website, last updated in 2007, still advertises cottages, lakefront dining, a marina, and special events. Special events catering. The site even claims that the inn is currently, quote-unquote, closed for renovations, though the only signs of repair on a recent July day were new windows installed at least a decade ago. But except for a weekend-long art installation in July 2018 at the inn titled From Away by Burlington-based Overnight Projects, the dilapidated motel has sat unused and unvisited for 14 years. Its paint peeling, its roof missing, shingles and holes gaping in the siding. Quote, I'm flabbergasted that no one has stepped up and tried to make a run at this property, said Eve Bradley, vice president of commercial brokerage at Parmelo Real Estate in Burlington, which currently lists the property for sale at $795,000. But it'll happen. Remind you, this is from 2019. The last decade notwithstanding, Bradley's optimism seems warranted. For nearly a century, the Sandbar Inn was a popular restaurant and overnight spot for visitors to Grand Isle before it closed for good in 2005. Teresa Robinson, a retired history teacher and former president of the South Hero Historical Society, confirmed via email that the inn was built in 1900 by Benijah Phelps, a toll keeper who collected fares on Sandbar Bridge, a predecessor to the modern causeway running between Milton and South Hero. Originally called the Phelps House, it lodged hunters and fishermen visiting Grand Isle. In the early 1900s, Benija would pick up people coming off the train across the Colchester Causeway to South Hero. Robinson wrote, the Phelps family lived upstairs, and sons Sidney and Herbert inherited it in 1910 when Benija died. In 1923, the inn was sold and renamed the Sandbar Inn. In 1956, the hotel was converted into a restaurant and the motel was added. That same year, Robinson noted the original toll house, unused for decades because the causeway became free to travel in 1906, was relocated to Milton. The Sandbar Inn operated throughout the 1970s and 80s until it steadily declined in the 90s when it went into bankruptcy. In 1999, the property was purchased by business partners Mark Note and Marco DiCarlo, who made a brief go at resurrecting it. However, as Note explained, because there was a lot of deferred maintenance on the buildings, some were too costly to bring up to code and had to be demolished. By 2005, the remaining motel, restaurant, and marina were no longer financially viable, and the entire business was shuttered. The Great Recession hit soon thereafter, Note said, and securing financing for a new project became untenable. So what's to come on this spot? According to Bradley, there's been a fair amount of interest in recent months, including 3 inquiries in a single day. The biggest issue with the property, he noted, is concern that it's on the water and a misperception that it's in a flood zone. It's been a little bit perplexing, said Note, a longtime environmental and land use attorney. He suggested that one reason developers may be gun-shy is because the site is not a traditional plug-and-play opportunity, meaning they'd have to install a modern water treatment and septic system. Then there's the public perception to overcome. People believe that the location is blighted. The problem with a property like this is that that people go by and think there's something wrong with it. That's why it hasn't sold, Bradley said. And little by little, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. He suggested the site would be a great spot for a tiny house development, Nantucket-style cottages, or as a year-round event space. It's all very feasible, he added. We just haven't found the right person who wants to do it yet. Unquote. Pretty interesting stuff on that. Let's take a walk around and see what we see. The marina they were talking about is over on this side here. You can see that sign there. Sandbar Marina guests only. And there's also a cutout in the road to get down there. Lovely though. Look at that view. Alright. And then a view on this other side. Holy guacamole. As for this blight they're talking about, no doubt this is ugly. But you know, once it's torn down and something newly built on the land, it'll be perfectly fine. We're talking the islands here. Now, for the record, I am not going to step inside any of these rooms. I think it'd be very dangerous. If it's been unused for 14 years, I'm guessing with windows missing, that floors would be dangerous to step on. I'd probably fall through the floor. And this is Thanksgiving. I'm joining a friend later today, so you know, I want to have unbroken ankles for that. I have seen large trucks here recently, and these are certainly large tire tracks. But a new wastewater treatment and septic would be exceptionally expensive. In the tens of thousands of dollars. But still, it's a prime location. We can see there's some tar paper right here. Oh, That's really ugly 80s drape right there. Holy cow. Look on the fan up there. That's yeah, that's something. Let's think. Oh yeah, there we go. Now I can't see that from my angle, but steps to get up into the place. Find it fascinating. It still has its door. All these spaces have their doors, and you can see that ugly pattern yet again. Maybe that's not ugly to you, but I can remember this pattern. I thought it was ugly when I was a kid. Looks like a kitchenette. What can we see in there otherwise? Yeah, I don't know. When I'm looking at this video later, I'll have a better idea. I like the yellow inside and the views. Oh my God, the views. Not as trashed in here as it was in the other one, that's for sure. And I like this green paint that was originally on it, apparently. That's a nice touch. Then let's see a bathroom area over here. That's my guess. Ooh, I see some mold on this ceiling as well. First ceiling also had mold on it. Don't know if you noticed that. And it had that seedweedy stuff on there, hanging off the fan. And you can see the lights. Don't know if you can see that. Zooming in, change the light structure. Yeah, I bet that was a kitchenette back there. All right. I can see that these are all the same. Oh yeah, it definitely has a paper towel holder in there. See that right there? That white thing right there? Paper towel holder. Love the arched doorway where those arrows are. Apologize for my camera. I have it plugged into my charger so that it won't just up and die as it's wont to do. I wonder what's, oh, and there's already a hole. Ooh. Yeah. Holes in the ceiling. Not a good look. And look at the mold. We can see why this is a tear down, can't we now? Oops. And we see better the door on the other side over there because there are holes in the wall. Oh, but look at this light fixture. Pretty cool. You can see my photos on Instagram and Facebook. Traveling for History 1, Ellen Traveling. No big surprise there. You can also find me on Twitter, Traveling for High 1, Traveling for HI numeral 1. And I'm also on TikTok, Traveling for History 1, Ellen Traveling. Ooh, this ceiling is about to give. There we go. Can you see that bulge? Can you tell that's a bulge right there? So it looks like a bulge. It's hanging down in the center there. I think if I were to push my cane up into that, the water would come gushing down. Clearly, I'm not going to do that. But the only set of steps is that first one we were at. We're here, and nothing else has a set of steps anymore. And that first step is a doozy. Well, this is a different configuration. The towel bar. I can't get closer. There are there's vegetation here. Can I capture it for you? Oh, there we go. Kind of looks like the the apartment where my father lived had. He lived in his apartment for 40 years before he died. In fact, he died in the apartment. And there's vegetation still, so I have to do it from farther away. But that view is something else. This one doesn't seem to have stuff on the floor. Ooh. Well, we can definitely, well, we may be able to see that pretty soon. There we go. The phone really doesn't like this colder weather. I wonder if I bought a more expensive camera, if that would work. Holy cow. Even if my camera went blurry, you could still see the devastation happening in this room. Holy cow. Wow. You see the pink, it's styrofoam down here. Oh, nope, some stairs here with roofing shingles. Holy cow. And roofing shingle on the ground too. Just a pile of roofing shingles. That must be a railing. Part of a railing that's left. And there's a Kitchen gadget attached. What would that have been for? Any thoughts? Doesn't look like a can opener kind of thing, but I don't know. Oh, I was just thinking this looked pretty good until I realized, oh no, part of the ceiling has fallen in here too. And then there's this building right here. Oh, we can see where the steps went. They're right there. The soffit is looking sad. That's for sure. Somehow I thought there was going to be a wooden porch. It was actually a tarp. These windows are really dirty. I love this kind of thing though. So decorative. I remember stuff like this from when I was a kid on houses. I was born in the early 60s, well maybe close to the mid 60s, and I just remember stuff like this on houses. But you can see the filth on the windows. There's more shingles here on the floor, the ground rather. You can hear the brittle. Alright, now you can see the filth on the windows. I don't want to put my unit up to it. Oh, I see a crank window inside. You may be able to see that too, including, hey, and the blinds are drawn over here. You see all the vegetation growing all over the place. You see there's a hole right here as well. Alrighty. Well, let me step out of here so I can show you the front of the building. I'm not sure I did that already. Oh yeah, we can see where the shingles fell from, or blew off from right there. You know, this was a really happening place back in the day. In fact, we can see the sign right here. Sandbar Inn. Dinner. Vacancy. Lots of vacancies. Whole place is just waiting for the right person to want to take care of it. More like demolish it. As much as I love preservation, this place is just too far gone. And this is the place I was just walking in front of. And that roof, wow. That is vegetation growing on the roof. I remember years ago when I was looking for my first place to buy, the houses I kept seeing online had that kind of roofing with plants growing, and good Lord. Kind of shows you what I could afford back then. And then coming back over, oh, look at that view. Holy cow. That's Route 2 that all those cars are driving on right now. Let's come over and take a closer look at this sign. In fact, why don't you go ahead and look at the view as I'm walking over. Wow. I mean, the property may be $795,000. At least in 2019 it was. But that view, wow, that is something else. Oh, it looks like there's some sort of bird on there too. What is that? Is that a stork? Storks are white. And if you look closely, you can see the hooks next to the word vacancy, so they could hang a sign saying no vacancy. Very cool. Let's see, does it say the same thing on the other side? My guess is yes. I mean, why wouldn't you advertise the same stuff on both sides of the sign? Oh yeah, says the same thing. And here we have sun and rise. I was looking at that aerial view, and over here there had been another building as well. Not sure if that was the restaurant or not. That doesn't look like it could have been a restaurant. I think it'd be big enough. Could be wrong though. For those who remember this place, I would love to know more. But I'll see what I can find online. I did a cursory search to find what I did. A piece of South Heroes past. But I wouldn't call this a blight in terms of real estate. Because once you knock it down and build again, people won't remember this. Or they'll remember it fondly from their youth. And alright, well this is Patricia and I'm traveling for history. I already told you about my social media and everything, wherever you are. And appreciate you watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Follow me everywhere else. It would rock my world and make my day. Especially on the Miss Major holiday here in the U.S. So until I see you again, have a fabulous day. And